The world, me boys, without the Grecian bend, nor did she wear a chignon, I'd have you all to know. And I met her in the garden where the praties grow.
Now, hello. You're welcome to Ireland West Farmstay and Farm and Bog Tours and Experiences. Today, I'd like to show you how potatoes was sowed about 80 to 100 years ago, before the donkey ploughs and the horse ploughs came into being in rural Ireland. And the digging was done with this tool. This tool is called a loy. It's a very heavy tool. Um, They were made for bigger, stronger men than me, possibly, because I know I get very tired using it, but this was what it was. It had to be wide like this to lever, so rather than lift, you were levering the sod up. This tool here was used for a man was different than me, because as you can see, this side is worn and that side is not, so when I'm using it, it's the opposite side. So the first thing you do is turn the side over. So the praties, they were known as here. The potatoes was known as the praties in this area, or in Gaelic the proti. But the praties we always call them. So in this case, I had this one pre-dug, so I'm just going to move this into place. I'm going to start the next one. And you turn the sod over like this. So you go down like that, and you lever it up into place. Get out wide like that. So there's a two sod ridge, the sod there, and you fill the middle with soil which you got out of the furrow. So this area here is the ridge, this area is the furrow. So this type of thing was done in poor quality land where you didn't have a great depth of soil. The drills would have been used where you have deeper soil. So it was the old-fashioned form of a raised bed. And so instead of putting timbers round, you dug the ground up and banked it up to form a deeper soil for the praties to grow. So that's the way the sod was turned. So that was the law. You lever down on it and you turn it over like that. That's it. I'll just show the way the other side was turned back against it here. People sold 1 acre of potatoes to raise a family, approximately. Would they keep a family, a man, his wife, and up to 8 children would survive on 1 acre of potato in a year. So that's the way the other side. So the two sides were turned up like that, and that formed the ridge. So I'm going to leave that now, and I'm going to sow a few potatoes here. So this is my grandson Leo. He's going to help me with the potatoes sowing. And the way we do that is, I go ahead and I make holes, and Leo comes behind with a bucket and some seed potatoes in it. The seed potatoes here are dipped in lime, and that's to stop the worms from eating into the potato and destroying the crop. This tool I'm using here is a stevine it's called. There's a little bit there for putting your foot on, a step on it. So I'm going to give this bucket here to Leo. You've got it glove on now because the lime can burn your hands. And I make the hole with the stevine, round like that. And Leo inserts the pratie into the hole. And each of those will sprout and in turn give back from 8 to 10 praties back in the crop. If you just stick one in that one also, Leo, good man. And I'll make another one here. So this is the way we go up the thing, about a foot apart, 3 across on the ridge. This is all done on lay land. Lay land being land that wasn't sown before. It's freshly dug ground because you've got more compost in the rotted grass, whatever manure had been spread on it. So this is we go up the ridge like this. So on the potatoes, and they're known nowadays. Young people are a lot better at bending than older people because they get stiff and sore from years of bending. See how loose and nimble that Leo is here doing his work. Now, so I'm going to leave that at that for the moment, Leo, and we'll show the next phase of covering these potatoes. So we're going back here to the loy again. This is the loy. That loy is made of ash wood. I cut that bit of ash wood in a ring fort or fairy fort, which is also on my lands. So I cut that special because it had a width here for a step and it also had a width here. I added that bit of white thorn timber to it to widen the step. Just going to go now and I'll have to loosen this soil up with the loy. Leo is taking a break now and we'll resume work. So on them praties again after. So what I'm doing is loosening this up with the loy, the same story, leaving back on it. So you have no problem sleeping at night when you use this tool all day. You don't need to go counting the sheep going out the gate to go to sleep at night when you've been using this tool. But it's very healthy working with the soil. So that ground had to be dug, and like I say, they sowed big areas, 1 acre. The year following sowing the potatoes this ground, next year this ground will be sowed in oats because a crop of oats always followed the potato crop. And you moved the potatoes onto a fresh ground which was higher in nutrients, and because the potatoes do drain a lot of nutrients out of the soil. So now, what I'm going to do now is what's known as blinding them praties seed. And this is so the crows don't get them firstly, and secondly, they sprout better in dark conditions. So this is the way to blind the potatoes. Just throw a little bit of soil over them. And that'll do for a start, because if you put too much on first, the weight of the soil don't allow the potatoes to sprout. So just a little bit first, and then in a week's time, when it starts to sprout, add a bit more, and you also add a second run of mulch. So really it's 3 coverings it gets. This crop will be harvested from August onwards. July was always known as the hungry month, because the old potatoes in the ground, the old potatoes that was sowed would start to decay. The new ones wouldn't be ready to dig yet, and that was July was the hungry month. The first week in August is when these would be fit to dig. So at the minute, that is the way. Like I say, I'll come along in a week's time and I'll chuck a bit that side, up this side, forming a furrow or a drain up the middle. But I don't want to put any more weight on it for the time being. So that's the way that the praises were sown. In my next stage, I'll show you the next layer of soil I put on it and when that's done. And from then on, I'll show you the sprays and then the digging and harvesting of the potatoes. So I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you very much.